Welcome to Part of My Imagination. I'm Imagination and you're the Imaginers. Welcome if this is your first time. My name is Jasmine and welcome back if this is your second or third or how many times you clicked on my channel. Welcome. It's really hard to see because this light is like blaring in my eyeballs. But anyways, as you can tell from the title of this video, today I'm going to be doing my February TBR. I know it's February 3rd and I'm just not getting this video. And this video probably won't even be up until tomorrow, which is February 4th. Because, you know, editing and all that other stuff. So anyways, let's just get straight into the TBR. I have 9 books here. If you're wondering, there's not going to be a wrap up for January because your girl only read 1 book. And I read a book that wasn't even on my TBR. So anyways, let's just get straight into it. Okay, so before I actually talk about these books, I was talking to Princess and she was telling me, like, I told her, like, I only read 1 book and da-da-da. And, like, I really want to read, but I have just been extremely exhausted all month. So I haven't been reading and I haven't prioritized reading. And then she was just telling me, like, don't pick any books on any list. Just read whatever you want to read. Because I was telling her, like, I want to read all these books, but at the same time, I don't want to read any of them. Like, if that makes sense. And so she was just telling me, stop making these, well, not stop making lists, but, like, stop choosing books that are on a list and just read whatever I gravitate to. So these are the books that I gravitated to. And yeah, and we're just going to read them. So anyways, the first book that I have is Lore of the Winds. And this is by Analeigh, Sbrana. This was on a TBR of mine a couple of months ago, but I can't remember. But this is one of the books where she self-published and then she ended up getting picked up, but anyone that bought the special edition for it still got it. But it's not on sale right now, so I kind of feel exclusive. Anyways, a library with a deadly enchantment, a fey lord who wants in, a human woman willing to risk it all for a taste of power. It's short, it's sweet, it's beautiful, and I can't wait to get to it. Alright, next on my list I have Belladonna by Adalyn Grace. Again, this is a book that was on my TBR a couple months ago, and I just didn't get to it. Princess was telling me, like, it's giving... Okay, not that the story is anything like it, but she was saying it's giving Darkling, and if y'all know anything about me, you know I love the Darkling. He just needs to be saved, and I can save him, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyways, all I know is that this has something to do with death. That's, like, literally all I know. I still have the freaking receipt in it. But yeah, for as long as Signa Farrow has been alive, the people in her life have fallen like stars. This the main character of this book has, her last name is Farrow, and it's giving the book by Adrian Young, that just came out, and it's The Secret Life of... I read it too. I don't own it because I got an arc of it, but I did read it last year, and it just came out. So, yeah. They have the same last name. So, I'm going to be reading this. Okay, next I have Parable of the Talents by Octavia Butler. I picked this up because it's not on a list, but what I did say to myself is I just want to finish the books that I started last year, and I just didn't finish them because I don't know what's going on, but this slump is like I'm not in a slump, but I am in a slump, so I don't really know. But, like, I'll pick it up and I'll read it, and I just won't prioritize reading, and even though I don't finish it. So I have 2 books on this TBR that are just books that I need to finish, and this is one of them. This is the second book of Parable of the Sower, excuse me. This one right here. This is the second book. This is basically when global climate changes and economic crises lead to social chaos in the early 2020s, California becomes full of dangers, from pervasive water shortages to masses of vagabonds who will do anything to live to see another day. 15-year-old Lauren lives inside a gated community with her preacher father, family, and neighbors, sheltered from the surrounding anarchy. In a society where any vulnerability is a risk, she suffers from hyper-empathy, a debilitating sensitivity to others' emotions. I really enjoyed the first book. I gave it 5 stars. I have been enjoying what I read of this, and so I'm just ready to finish it out. As you can see, I'm probably like less than, I'm not even a fourth of the way in, but yes. Alright, next I have A Crown of Wishes. This is by Roshani Chokshi. This is the second book in A Star Touched Queen. I recently reread A Star Touched Queen last year so that I could read this one. I didn't end up getting to it last year. That's totally okay, because I loved everything about it. I gave the book 5 stars. I remember, and I'm just ready to pick this one up. But this story is basically following a princess who lives in a world. She's like one of many sisters, but she's like basically seen as like the black sheep of the family, mainly because not the king, but what is the name of, I can't remember, but basically like the king of this empire, he had a previous wife, and the wife ended up dying, so that's his daughter and the other wife. So then obviously he has all these other wives, and they like shun her out, and so basically he marries her off so that they can stop a war between these two countries. Some magical things end up happening, and she gets thrown into this other world, and this man basically, or this like king of this world, basically can't tell her everything and some things happen, okay? That was a horrible synopsis of what the first book is about, and I'm sorry, but this is like, I feel like when people talk about romance and love and like an eternal love, no one ever brings up A Star Touched Queen, and I feel like y'all are sleeping on this book. But anyways, I'm just ready to go ahead and finish this out. There is a novella of it called A Star Touched Stories, I believe. Yeah, but anyways, I'm gonna get to this. Alright, and obviously for excuse me. Excuse me. For Black History Month, I didn't want to pick up something from critically acclaimed Toni Morrison. And so I picked up The Bluest Eyes. I have not read this. And I'm not too sure what this one's about. Mocked by other children for dark skin, curly hair, and brown eyes that set her apart, she yearns for the blonde hair and blue eyes that she believes will allow her to finally fit in. Yet as her dream grows more apparent, her life slowly starts to disintegrate in the face of adversity and strife. I've heard nothing but great things from people that have read this, and so it's about time I pick it up. Alright, the next book that I have that is one that I started last year and just need to finish it is History of Wolves, and this is by Analeigh Feudlind. I have had this book on a few TBRs. I started it. I don't have a bookmark in here because I believe I was listening to the audiobook. I'm not going to say that I wasn't enjoying it, but I just wasn't understanding where the storyline is coming from. So we're following this girl who basically lives out. We're following this girl named Linda. She's a teenager, but younger teen, just like 14, 15. But she lives in like this really small town, and her parents are basically like, they don't really pay much attention to her, and so she ends up babysitting for like this super rich family across like from the forest of where she lives or something like that. And yeah, it's like a coming of age, but I don't know. I want to finish it so I can either unhaul it or say it was the best book ever. The next book I have is The Chosen and the Beautiful. Excuse me, this is by Nghi. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I probably am. I apologize. I believe this is supposed to be, isn't it supposed to be like a Great Gatsby kind of retelling? Yeah, if I remember correctly. And I'm just ready to pick this one up. It's been on my shelf for a while. I've wanted to read it for a while. And so now I feel like this is the perfect time. I gravitated toward it, so I picked it up. Alright, next I have The Winners by Fredrik Backman. I picked this book up because Princess was talking about reading Beartown, and I was like, oh my god, I should read Beartown again. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to read Beartown. I just need to finish The Winners. And so I opened up the first page, and the first sentence hooked me, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely reading this. And it's pretty thick for me to be saying that I'm in a reading slump, but it's Fredrik Backman, and maybe I just need something to tear my heart out and like put it on the ground, smash it around, throw it in the trash, burn it, and do all those things and then give it back to me. Maybe that's what I need. I don't know why I like these kind of books, but if y'all haven't noticed, I love a book that will tear me apart. And she said that she was watching some girl who was reading this, and she was like bawling her eyes out, and I'm like, that's exactly what I need. And so I'm picking it up. I should probably tell you what this is about. If you don't know, Beartown is one of my favorite books of all time. But Beartown is following this small hockey town in Canada called Beartown, and the whole freaking city, all they care about is, or the whole town, all they care about is hockey. And so there's not necessarily a main character in there. If you've ever read Fredrik Backman's writing, you know that he has a way of having main characters, but they're not actually main characters, and he just has this freaking beautiful writing style of being able to intertwine all his writing between characters, and it just flows so effortlessly, and I love it so much. I will read anything that this man puts out, I promise you. But yeah, you're just following this town, and Beartown finally has like phenomenal players, and they're going to make it to the semifinals. And one of the main players on the team ends up SAing the coach's daughter. And so now you're following this town that is broken up onto two sides, where they either believe the main character, or not the main character, they either believe the coach's daughter or they don't. And you're just following how this affects the entire town. And that you're getting so many different perspectives, and it is so heartbreaking. This book will, I feel like, destroy you, just for the sense, because I feel like he had such a way of captivating what genuinely happens in real life, and it's just so beautifully done, and I loved everything about it. Okay, and I'm ready to pick up the winners. Let me put that back. There's another book in the series. It's called Us Against You, and now there's the one. Okay, the next one is, I did want to pick up a manga, and I have Dinosaur Sanctuary, volume number 1. Story and art is by Itaru Kinoshita. And I'm not gonna lie, but Kayla kind of got me in this dinosaur bag because I've been watching a lot of books in Lala, and she had that one where a couple of months ago last year she was looking for like a dino recommendations and like dino romance, and then this year she did the dinosaurs theme-ish, and I just feel like it's the year of the dinosaur. I don't know. So I picked this one up, but this is basically saying that dinosaurs are alive. In 1946, a remote island was discovered where dinosaurs never went extinct. Through breeding and genetic manipulation, dinosaur populations increased, and dinomania reached a fever pitch worldwide, until a certain terrible incident occurred. Afterward, dinosaur reserves like Enoshima Dinoland fell on hard times. Enter Suzumi, a kind-hearted rookie dino keeper. Can she be the one to save Dinoland from extinction? Let's go. I'm here for that. And last but certainly not least on this list, I have Mother Bruce by Ryan T. Higgins. This is obviously a children's book, and I'm trying to rack up on my children's books. So, yeah. This is basically just following a black bear named Bruce. It says Bruce's dinner recipe calls for eggs, but when the eggs call back, this grumpy bear is in for an unwelcome surprise. And that's it. Those are all the books that I'm reading. Oh yeah. Don't ask. These are all the books that I'm reading for the month of February. I might plan on picking up some more stuff, because I did have a few things that I had my eye on, but I didn't want to definitively say I wanted to read those things. I will probably try to pick up some things from my January TBR, because I do have some things that I'm in between. Again, I'm trying to finish books that I was in between. And so I know for sure I do want to finish Honey Girl, but I didn't want to put this on this TBR because I was like, well, if I don't get to it, I don't get to it. But I would like to finish it. And I do have some books that came in on Libby that were on my January TBR. Excuse me, that I might try to pick up. But we don't know. We'll see. But that is all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to check out my description where you can find easy ways to contact me, as well as all the books that I talked about. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if not, just imagine that you did and come back again. Until next time, keep imagining.